Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about symmetry. So, with symmetry, I want everybody to look at this butterfly. What do you see? You see wings, you see pretty colors, right? So, if we were to take this butterfly per se and split it in half, what do you think will happen? So, do you think we'll split equally or not? Let's see. Let's try it and see. So if I were to split this page in half, on this side you see the blue, the green, and the yellow. On this side you also see the blue, the green, and the yellow. So that's kind of what symmetry is. Symmetry is splitting something down the middle and having equal parts at the end. So if I were to take the paper, let's say fold it from corner to corner, fold it like that. It's not equal parts. So it's not symmetrical if we do fold it unequally. That's called asymmetry. Okay, so for this unit, we are going to be focusing on symmetry. But first we're going to watch a short video just describing what symmetry is, asymmetry, but we're really going to focus on something called reflectional symmetry, okay? There are other parts to symmetry, but we're not going to really focus on that right now. So reflectional symmetry is also called mirroring symmetry, and it's taking something and folding it or cutting it in half and having identical parts. So we're going to look at this video real quick, and when it's over, we're going to take a short few minutes to ask some questions, and so everyone please pay attention. Okay.
Hi everyone! Today we're going to learn about symmetry. Symmetry is a concept that is commonly found in math, especially geometry, but it is also often discussed in art and design. An object that has symmetry can be divided into identical pieces. When an object has symmetry, we say that it is symmetrical. When an object does not have symmetry, we say that it is asymmetrical. There are many different types of geometric symmetry, but today we are only going to talk about the simplest form, reflectional symmetry. An object or image that has reflectional symmetry is like a mirror image. If you were to draw an imaginary line down the center of a symmetrical object and fold it in half along that line, the shapes would match up. This imaginary line is called a line of symmetry. Some symmetrical objects only have one line of symmetry, while others have more. For example, this triangle only has one line of symmetry, straight down the middle, because if you try to divide it any other way, the pieces don't match up. This triangle, on the other hand, has three lines of symmetry. You could fold it here, here, or here, and each time the halves would be the same. A square has four lines of symmetry. You could divide it in half from left to right, top to bottom, or from corner to corner either way. Symmetry is often found in nature. One favorite example of this is a butterfly. When a butterfly folds its wings, it is easy to see that they are the same shape. Now that you know what symmetry means, see if you can find symmetrical objects near you. You may be surprised by how many things are symmetrical.
Okay, so the video is over. It was great, right? Awesome. So I want to recap. I'm going to ask a couple of questions, like I said. First one is, can someone tell me what symmetry is? Go ahead.
It's when two things.
I can't quite hear you. Speak up.
It's when two things are on both sides are the same.
And two things on both sides are the same? Kind of. but not exactly the answer I'm looking for. Okay, can someone else kind of give me an exact definition of what I'm looking for? Go ahead. No? Okay.
What?
Can someone else give me a different terminology or type of example that we're looking for that we saw in the video? Go ahead.
It's when you split something down the middle, and
Speak up.
it's when you split something down the middle and they're the same on both sides. Both of the shapes are the same.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So, one more question, then we'll move on to the next thing. What does it mean when something's asymmetrical? See if you're paying attention to that in the video.
Oh, I got this one.
Go ahead.
It's when the two sides aren't the same.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the shapes don't look the same.
Don't look the same. That means that they're asymmetrical. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next thing, and we're going to put into action what we just learned and what we just talked about, okay? So we're going to be working in pairs, and I'm going to count you off into twos. So there's only two of us here tonight. So we're doing one group for one pair. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to hand everybody out a Ziploc bag with your shapes. On my page it says wooden, but tonight I have paper. And it says yarn, but I have ribbon. So we're going to substitute. But I printed out the shapes and cut them out, so it worked just the same. So on our worksheet that I'm going to hand out that we are going to work in pairs on, you are going to take every shape that we have in here, match it the same shapes that are on the page. So every shape that's on here, you're going to find the lines of symmetry. So find every way that these shapes are symmetrical using the ribbon. And then you're going to put that number on your page. You're going to record it on the paper. Okay? And so we're going to take about 15 minutes to complete this. There are 4 on each side, so 8 shapes. So every person gets 4 shapes to symmetrify. Okay? And we're going to do that. And come right in. Remember, we're trying to find the lines of symmetry. How many lines of symmetry does this shape have?
1.
Okay, so now that everyone's done with their pair work and everybody's turned their papers into me, we're going to start doing our independent work. I'm going to hand out this worksheet, and it has your symmetrical lines on letters. And so you're going to find the lines of symmetry on the letters. At the top, you're going to write how many ways it's symmetrical, and at the bottom, you're going to draw on your own and find out how many ways it is at the bottom. From then, after you finish that, you turn that back into me, and then we will be done with today. And I will give out your end of day ticket, and you're going to write down 2 things that you learned today and hand that in to me, and then we'll be going home. Okay, so now that we're done with our last assignment of the day, we're going to get our ticket out of the door, write 2 facts, like I said, of what you learned today. And for homework, I want you to use your textbook and define some definitions for me that are in the chapter. Just the 4 types of symmetry that we didn't talk about, but we're going to talk about as the rest of the unit comes throughout the time. You have symmetry, asymmetrical, reflection symmetry, rotation symmetry, the line of symmetry, translation symmetry, and guide reflection symmetry. Okay, and we also have this take-home quiz, and you will return this to me for a quiz grade. And it is a perimeter of symmetrical shapes worksheet. You're going to find the perimeter of each shape and write down the answer. And this will be turned in, again, like I said, for a homework grade. All right? And that is the end of my lesson for today. We talked about reflectional symmetry, and we're going to talk about the other types as the week progresses.